All right, guys, happy Thursday. Hey, December 7th, this is the day that we're all waiting for more G.I. Joe classified news out of Hasbro, something, anything. Oh my God, we're like kids waiting on Christmas morning. I am the crusty old crow. This is the Tactical Perspective Hot Mic. I'm that Canadian soldier up from north there that retired and had nothing better to do but talk about Joe every single day, it seems. And it's true, guys. I really do enjoy this. So, hey, you know what I remember to do at the beginning of the episode as opposed to the end after most of you have left? If you like these videos that the crow's putting out, go ahead, hit like. It's not going to keep them or make them any faster or slower, but you know, it's an expression. If you like them enough that you think you want to hear more out of the crow, then you go ahead and subscribe, join this little murder of crows I got on the go. I like these low numbers, but I am trying to hit that 500 mark because I want to do a giveaway and a contest. I'll talk a little bit about that. It's one that I just want to work with you guys on. It's just a fun contest for shits and giggles, right? Yeah, that potty mouth. Okay, I do my best to keep my swearing in check, but sometimes I get excited just like everybody else, and you'll hear something happen. So make sure when you're watching my videos, your kids have headphones on, or you speak over me from time to time, okay? What am I going to talk about today? So we had some pics show up online regarding some of the stuff we can expect to hear more on today. Specifically, we started seeing some packaging on Quick Kick and all them. And I want to talk today about Hasbro's strategy a little bit, and where and it's just for fun, guys. You know, the crow, he likes to pretend he's sitting in that boardroom and he's got a voice, right? And he could be that old guy from the 82 line sitting in the corner going, I understand your point there, Mr. CEO. However, as one of your top fans, and then proceed to expose something on the market, which it would never go down like that, but I like to pretend that. And one of the things I like to look at was when I looked at that 82 and 94 line, I saw some strategies at play that I was too old to know exactly how they turned out, but I could see them very effectively re-employing these strategies on the classified line. And I'm going to talk about how they could work and what they could look like and where you could benefit as a consumer, and Hasbro could definitely benefit as a company, especially in this high QC and remold and repaint critical criticism issue. You know, the feedback they get back from all types of collectors now, it's not like the 80s anymore, guys. We're in the future, and the future is frightening place. Anyways, no, it's not. So yeah, I'll talk about all that in today's episode. It's probably going to be a bit shorter of an episode, but so here's me, the crow, and I keep bugging my American friends because I am so new to this market, guys, and new to YouTube, and just feeling it. And I thankfully the subscribers I have are just a great bunch of dudes. I'll say dudes. I don't think we have any female subscribers here, but just a great bunch of dudes. And especially the key folks, you know who you are, like Roman, Damak, Aaron, O'Reilly, all you guys. You keep coming back and giving me more inspiration, but moreover, you give me some constructive feedback and criticism with the channel, and I really appreciate that. So I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this, but I am going to quickly kind of explain something. I had a talk with my wife the other night, and I was telling her kind of just, you know, when I'm not medicated for my stuff, I miss a lot of stuff, and I sometimes bounce stuff off her so that she can give me her perspective back and say, I think it means this, right? So I was telling her about the channel. She doesn't really get involved in the channel, and then I've told her about the generosity that has been offered to me in a number of occasions from a few of you guys, and I'm dealing with that right now with a couple of you guys, and I just want to let you know, please pay attention to what I'm telling you here. I have to apologize to you guys. This generosity has been received with my own anxieties and a lot of deep-seated old school religion values that were pumped into me as a child by my grandparents, and they're probably still there. Although I'm an atheist now, I mean, my family was not. And so this whole, oh, you return kindness with kindness at all was driven into my head, maybe a blown out perspective that fails for me to recognize generosity and good-natured human kindness when it's offered, right? So I'll do better with that. I always try to go, no, if you're gonna do that, I want to do this, right? And my wife pointed it out. She's like, Ryan, what if that's how they feel better, is by being charitable and kind people, right? Like, you're kind of taking that away from them if you keep trying to counteroffer and turn it into like an exchange instead of what it was meant. So if I have left that impression with any of you, I deeply apologize. I just want to quickly explain it. Enough about that. Let's talk about Joe. Okay, so these are what the images were that we were catching last night at the end of the evening. Well, end of my evening in Ottawa. It was probably pretty early in the afternoon for some of you. And for those of you on the other hemispheres and other continents, I do know there's a couple out there that I can't necessarily communicate with because they aren't on the American continent. I don't know if they're still with us, and I apologize for that. But a lot of you guys might have seen that. I'm actually just going to turn the camera in hand. I'm gonna blow up. So we got Airborne. Airborne was shown in the picture, big boa, and we've seen those a little bit before, I think, all of us. But we got the Recondo in the package, Quick Kick in the package now, and Techno Viper in the package now. So you can expect at the con today, or wherever it is they're meeting in their secret little headquarters with media. I picture the president's Oval Office, but that's just my newbie guy. I know what the things look like. I just have the absence of information right now. But you can expect these to get discussed. But I want to talk about something I picked up over here on Airborne in a minute. And just the other things we speculate, like I said, Naga hide. They've been showing images of Naga hide's head sculpt and how he's got scars on his head. And he's got that tooth necklace and the hat. And he's going to have the boar. And they're making him look pretty badass poacher. I expect we're probably might be seeing some more stuff that was leaked earlier, like Torch, Night Creeper, more about the Cobra Scout. These are what I'm expecting us to see more of, perhaps digital renders of those kits. Because we all know they've been talking about Torch for quite some time. We've seen some leaked images of what his head sculpt might look like. But I think a lot of us are looking for what that flame effect is going to be looking like. So maybe we might see some of that, I'm hoping. I have no idea. So what did I pick up on Airborne here that had me so psyched? I feel like a fool for not having picked up on it earlier, but I wasn't really looking. Okay, so for one, I've heard a lot of guys give criticism about the way that the pistols are done on the barrel extensions, and I get that. It does look like the action's more to the rear on here and it's waiting to be reloaded, or it looks like a sci-fi attempt. But usually it just means that you could put a silencer that's included in another Joe kit with it, right? And I don't see... it's the exact same thing they did with Firefly. So he's getting the same Firefly loadout, basically, when it comes to guns, and he's getting that air cool attachment for his barrel. I thought it was a suppressor, but I looked at it. I'm like, it can't be a suppressor. It's just got too many cuts and holes. Like what's the word? It's been stamped and printed to be. I think it's just air cool muzzle then, but. If it is a suppressor, perhaps somebody with better knowledge of those specific guns would be better suited. Anyways, that wasn't what got me excited. That was just something I wanted to point out and brace people for, because I've heard some criticism. It's the goggles here. So it was one of the things I quietly didn't notice about Hawk, and then I was like, yeah, that should have been the way. And I'm going to pull Hawk up for a second, because I really like him. And we all do, for the most part. But just like with Hawk, Airborne's coming with 2 sets of goggles, right? We see it with Hawk, and we saw it with Dusty. But this is the first, most realistic time we have a reason for the 2 sets of goggles, if you pay attention to what they've done. One is lens, right? This one has lens. I'm gonna, right there. And this one has dust cover. So this is the one that's going to go on the outside of his helmet, and those lenses, from what I can tell, see if I can blow it up anymore. Yeah, that's not a tinted lens, everybody. That's a dust cover over the lenses. That is one of the most realistic looking things I've seen them incorporate onto the headgear, and just we'll call it afterthought gear, just these little details that help for realism. Somebody in the design room has been doing their homework, and I applaud them for it. The other thing I noticed, it's not the visual, the NVGs, which it looks like they actually clip in to the bump helmet, and that's a great detail. That was we saw this alluded to in other bump helmets, guys. Let's grab rock and rolls just for an example, and we'll grab grunts. Where did I have my grunt? This mount has always been there, but it hasn't been recessed properly. Okay, if you look at these ones, where's my pointer? Okay. Oh, right here. This recess is exactly where an MVG mount would go. But you can tell that this one on Grunt's helmet is not very well, it's not fully set in. It's just a little narrow detail. And for you guys at home, have a look. You guys go see what I'm talking about. But with this one, you can see it is recessed deeply in and designed to have this clipped in. That is where we need to go with the bump helmet design, is get that stuff. So you guys remember me talking about accessory packs in the 80s and maybe throwing some extra weapons and kit in there? Maybe some extra NVGs and bump helmets. Oh, troop builders. Okay, so I noticed that, and that impressed me. The other thing I noticed, and this is again very real with bump helmets, especially guys that are departing vehicles or working on troop nets, he's got a headset incorporated into his helmet, which we have on rock and roll. I'm just seeing if we had it on grunt, but we didn't have it on grunt. See, this is one of these things that I like about these bump helmets, is because there are so many different designs, right? There you have the headset in there. So he can, and it's even got the little toggle switch on the side of the headset on rock and rolls for noise reduction and all that other stuff. So this is what they were going with that helmet, and I think that's brilliant. So this helmet is probably going to be one of my favorite helmets they've done in the line, simply because of the add-ons, not just because of the design. And I was really excited when I got into the weeds of that. But the rest of it, that backpack and all the other stuff, it seems pretty standard reprinted kind of stuff. But I was a big fan of making that call on the helmet. Whoever did that did us all a favor as a veteran community, for sure. So that's enough hype about Airborne, things that I noticed on that. Quick look at that group again. So who else are we talking about today? So we've all seen oh my God, I keep leaning on the table and doing that. The box art and the packaging for the new Scarlet, and it's essentially a Scarlet kit that we know they used prematurely to do Glenda quickly for our Dragonfly unlock, but this is the kit we're expecting with her as the Scarlet version of the original mold. And you can see they're basically balancing the mold for like the kit loadouts is a bit of our own unique kit that they designed, and then they add a piece of Grunt's kit, in this case the backpack and the M16, and I think the knife. I can't really tell from this angle, but no, maybe not the knife. But it gets repeated in the same style when they do Duke. Duke gets another piece of Grunt's kit. Almost like that's all part of the mold and they're balancing them out properly. But it's also more appropriate for Duke, I think, to have that Joe Blaster rifle, right? But you can see the loadouts, and yeah, retro. I'm interested to see how the retro transitions from being an exclusive store brand to open retail market brand, how places like GameStop are going to stock them, or say Toys R Us here in Canada. I know how they stock them because we got that, but are they going to have them more available than they've had in the past when they were basically one of the only places you could get it? I have no idea. I know that the Walmarts here in Canada, some of them don't even bother carrying G.I. Joe Classified anymore, so I'm wondering, will this return Classified to those stores in a retro line way, or are they going to continue to just pass by on this? I have no idea. So I'm more curious about things like I said, the Cobra Ferret, maybe getting some more images of what the MMS box will look like. And maybe now that it's been out there, maybe they're going to address what it's Chad started here with the whole snowcat discussion. Well, I won't say I think he started it. I think this was his fire that he poured a little fuel on, and I want to give him credit where credit is due. So I'm hoping tonight, by tomorrow morning, I'm hearing something more direct out of Hasbro saying, yep, and it's going to do this. Snowcat. Who knows? I'm so excited. Who else are we talking about? Quick Kick. I know a lot of you guys like Quick Kick and don't have the hang-ups I kind of do as an old man. But you saw the box art. We'll probably see more of the box art and some close-ups maybe about him. But just some things I like about the Quick Kick kit is I like the red backpack. I think that was kind of, like nice color set to do it. I'm just kind of wondering how it's hanging on by this one strap. That seems really awkward to have. It seems like another bazooka situation where he's wearing a backpack that's magically got nothing but helium in it. I like the little ninja star throwing effect and how it's going to incorporate, I guess, into these hands. These hands to me seem like they're going to be a lot more like the Crimson 2-pack hands with the Paoli brothers, where the hand isn't like this, but like these. So he can hold knives and throwing knives and stuff. That is the one thing I didn't talk about on the Crimson pack is instead of having one trigger figure out in that hand, it was like 2 fingers out poised to grip something very finite and delicate. So then we got the little chocolate bar piece of personality and probably reprint swords, I'm sure, but definitely reprint nunchucks. But unlike nunchucks, these nunchucks have paint. And they appear to be left-handed. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Techno Viper here. And we've been seeing this image a lot. That's why I kind of thinking, all right, well, we know we're going to talk about and see the box art and get even more probably about Techno Viper. Maybe they'll show us what this little scrubbed piece was or has been replaced by or whatever the story is behind that. So I'm not going to dwell on Techno Viper. Viper. Everything's a Viper in the Cobra lineup. And you know how I feel about that. It's a great way to get guys to buy multiple figures. Yeah, it's fine. And Vipers are like TV shows. You can like some and not like them all, right? So, Big Boa, my mixed opinions on it aren't very mixed at all. It's the last on my list of new releases that I would even probably look at on the shelf compared to everything else. But did Hasbro do a fine job about it? I guess the sales will tell, eh? We're going to find out soon. We know that this is coming, your new G.I. Joe troop builder, aside from Steel Core. And shortly behind it, we know that the Navy Sailor is coming. Maybe Hasbro Pulse tonight will talk about the pilot and the fourth figure, which is the one we're missing. We have the soldier and we have the Navy Sailor. Pilot and, I want to say another soldier. Marine. So maybe we'll see that. There's the big boa box we've seen. And then my baby boy, Ricardo. He's coming out OG style in the retro card line. I'm hoping Hasbro tonight or the conference will start giving us some images of the retro beachhead that we're to expect somewhere down the line this year. That is one I am almost equally hyped about. You guys know Beachhead is made of unobtainium in Canada. So I'd love another crack at that at a more affordable price point. So that was me just basically picking your brains about stuff you already knew. But I really wanted to share that Airborne pickup, especially to guys like Roman out there and Riley and, all you guys that take an interest in jumpers. There you go. Isn't that realistic to have that visor shade, that little piece of fabric? It's a 2-cent piece of fabric in real life. And they threw it onto that mold and it suddenly, to me, that made the mold just that much better, right? So I love picking up that, and those MVG clips are long overdue. All right, so let's talk about some marketing strategies we've seen in the past. If we go back and we look down the classified line, we can see that they've dipped their toes into multi-packs with moderate, I think, and good success. I don't know. I'm too new to the line, and I don't sit there with market research charts in front of me. But the Vipers, there's been positive and negative feedback about that. The Valkyries, and then we have my Vipers over here, and just again, if you guys watch that Aaron the Toy Enhancer's live feed, he gave away one of these. I think he took advantage of one of those great deals you guys get down in the States at a reduced price. He did the smart thing and started stocking up his prize pool, and then he gave one of these, and the guy who won it flat out knew that there was another guy there that really had his fingers crossed, and he eased the springs on those fingers and gave it to the guy without a second thought. And that always impresses me. The kindness of this community, I'm still processing it. Call me a bitter, broken, scared old man. Call me what you will. I'll get it, guys. It's awesome. So we know about the multi-packs. We know that it's a great way to troop build, right? This is not a secret. But here we go, the steel core. Where could we go with this? Okay, guys, if you look back at the 80s line, especially around the 86 and up, right? 2-packs were very common. 3-packs were starting to get common. Look at Sergeant Slaughter's Mad Marauders, and look at the Cobra Law sets. See your 3-packs there and how they were applied to make sure that no one figure suffered the sales of the release, when it could be supported by 2 others that you really want. Like, this was brilliant to me. If I'm developing a new line and I'm having hard time predicting if my sales are going to be good, if I'm blazing trails with bold concepts that I don't know if people are going to accept, but damn it, we're told we're going to manufacture, and that's what we're doing, then that's exactly how I would push my line. I would give you a bunch of individual figures, and the ones that I'm unsure about, I would package with stronger figures. And this is what multi-packs kind of gave an opportunity to do. So where could we go with this? Re-releasing the original blue previous line Cobra Trooper officer sets into a multi-pack, and maybe supporting it with a repaint character like Blood or Mindbender on a lower scale, and have that be a contingent 3-pack for that character to support, right? A lot of people don't want they have mixed feelings about these repaints, right? And remolds. But if it's done right in the right presentation, people want it. Look at the Crimson Strike team. I was dead set against it, and then it slowly eroded me, and I really wanted it, right? Because you see that troop build potential. So if we did it something like that, right? Python Patrol. There you go. Look at all the Python Patrol on the shelf right now. You got the Bats, you got the Vipers, you got the Crimson Guard, you got the Trooper or Officer, and the Cobra Officer or Python Patrol Cobra Officer, however you like it. You have several different combi packs there with a lot of mixed feelings about some of these figures. I'm not the only one that has mixed feelings. It's an age thing, unfortunately, because a lot of the market that, a lot of us are adult collectors revisiting the line, so you get different generations of Joe collectors, and some of the older Joe collectors like myself maybe aren't taking so much to the Python Patrol, right? And that's just a generational thing, but we grow to it. And if you were to offer it up in an enticing 3-pack, you could take that Bat that I think is the one that everybody, from what I understand, the Bat and the Viper aren't as popular as these guys. You take a single Bat and you package them up with one of him and one of him, or 2 of him, right? And put out your 3-pack, and you hit those price points you were hitting with the Viper and the Steel Brigade or Cobra Valkyries. It could be a 2-pack, it could be a 3-pack, but you can use this to push your figures, push your repaints a little bit more. And give consumers a break, because the thing is, when we're making Target exclusives, Walmart exclusives, Toys R Us exclusives, and we're limiting how they appear on the retail shelf, Hasbro should be following it up a year or 2 later, after they've done due diligence to that agreement with that big box brand, to make these back on the market and open retail, so that collectors can aggressively collect with confidence, rather than seek alternate markets and widely criticize and perhaps walk away the brand because of availability, if you guys get the point. So you could do it with Tiger Force, guys. I know some Tiger Force things are hit or miss. You can do it with Python Patrol, support them with bigger characters. Oh, I like that. But sorry, with Tiger Force, my point being was like, look at the criticism that came back on Flint, right? But would it have been the same if you could get Flint in the same box as, say, a Dusty and an Outback and build up your Tiger Force? If you were new to the line and those figures were no longer available, let's say 2 years down the road, we bundle them up in a 3-pack. Or if Hasbro wanted to continue to do these expansive repaints and you were getting a little tired of it, wouldn't you appreciate it if you had the choice to buy the 2-pack of repaints but still have your single figure at the same time? And that's how I think about these repaints, is like, I don't think they're as popular as the original goes. So how do you market them? Do you lower price points? Do you throw in blast effects? Do you throw in stands? Do you make these kits? What? So I see it with Night Force. This is the one, you guys know I have a personal grudge against Night Force. Walmart exclusives out here, selling like hotcakes and very hard to nail down. And online only, I'm finding. So with the Night Force, I'd love to see them go back to what they were doing in the mid 80s, late 80s. Night Force 2-packs. Pump them out. Get them on the shelf. Produce. Give us some options. Give us stuff like that. You can do this with the Iron Grenadiers and things like this. And again, this is not replacing the single figure market. This is opening it up to guys who do want a troop build and things like this, right? So you just do it the same you're doing with your Steel Core and your Valkyries. You just make them open to a more bigger retail market and stop doing exclusives only for these repaints. You know, bring them back after a year or two. What I would like to see is these little patches coming back that they used to do when we were kids back in the 80s and 90s, little stickers and whatnot. Hot Wheels does it. If you go to any Walmart, you'll see Hot Wheels now has these blind bag packs where you reach in and you grab a little plastic cellophane thing, and when you open it up, you got your Hot Wheel card, you got your little catalog, but you also got a sticker, a very unique sticker to that car of just the Hot Wheels logo with some fancy graphics and effects. Like no two are the same. Yeah, and they're collectible and they look great, and things like that are just nice little nostalgic pieces that can be thrown in at low cost. Should they do bigger sets than 3? I don't think with this classified line that's a wise investment. That's putting things back at those higher price points that you'd probably rather spend on a nice Hiss tank or Dragonfly through HasLab than maybe pump into a bunch of repaints or army troop builds while buying other figures. I don't know, right? But I think this strategy is going to get worked into Hasbro more and more as we see it, and as more feedback comes back about which of the repaint lines aren't selling as well as others, and how to promote them with inner promotion with characters and things like that. I could see Hasbro relaunching these strategies again, and I could see it being a mixed review from the consumer base. Yeah, that's about it. So that's my point on Hasbro. It's really just filler. I hope you guys had a nice break in the bathroom while you listened to me, or made a nice meal for your family, or whatever you did to kill time today. Really quickly about that contest I was doing there, the 500 subscriber thing. So the prize won't, I was thinking about it. I'm not just going to do give you the drawings prize. I'll do that. You guys give me some characters. When I get it filled up and we get to 500, you'll get the characters mailed to you, but you're also going to get a figure, guys. I am reading the text as it's laid out. I'm seeing what people do, and I see how this works. And I also see that I did not have as bad a footing here in Canada as I thought I did. There are things I have access to for classified that it seems certain guys in certain states or areas don't. So I'm going to start buying up some of these, and these are going to go into prize pool and trades and things like that. If people want to trade with me, that's fine. But I'm going to put them into prize pools and do little contests as we go, because this is so much fun and it's so inspiring to work with you guys. I keep saying I'm talking at you guys, but man, that is all the therapy I need. I'm having a great time. Thanks very much for listening again. If you like, subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Share, spread around the rumor that somebody could get just some funky, unique guys, piece of crap art as a prize, and see if they want to just join in on the discussion and join some like-minded old fool like myself. All right, take care, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow, probably.